Hello and welcome to my basement where we have red shag carpet and a mess to clean up. I plan to start doing a decluttering week. I feel like it's going to take me a week. I plan to do every nook and cranny of this house. I want it organized, deep cleaned, donate things, reorganize things. We have seed starting next week, so I feel like if I don't start this project now, I'm gonna keep putting it off because I've been feeling this urge to really just get this house super organized. Today, I wanna get a count on all of my bulk food storage. I feel like I've been having a hard time jumping into garden planning, to be honest. And I feel like that might help me a little bit because then I can see what we're really going through, what I might need to not grow, and where I might be able to add other things in that we've been kind of going through. And then I want to go through, like, I order things from Azure Standard and I have an order coming up. So I want to see if I need to get anything. I feel like I'm getting low on a few things. I just need to get started because I feel like this is just one of those projects that feels very daunting to start. So we are just going to start today. We'll see how far I get in. I do know, I think I want to go get a few like storage bins. We really don't have many storage bins. We have a few, but I need more. We need more. Should have been outside today. Most of our snow has finally melted, and today was like our first day that was 55. It was so beautiful. Come on, girls. I still have lots to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the chickens in. Sun is gonna set in about an hour. I have to say, absolutely loving the fact that the days are getting a little bit longer. I think the sun's like really setting by like 6 at this point. Come on, girlies. Okay. Let's see how many eggs we got for the day. I need to go through and clean up the garden of anything else I didn't harvest before we got all that cold. Because I don't think a lot of it probably survived. We got nothing today? You know, I'm not even mad. Because if I were the girls, I would have not been laying an egg today. They fully got to enjoy the day not being cooped up. Before I dive into the organization project today, I'm going to get some chili in the crock pot, and every time I make chili, I do 4 of these pints of crushed tomatoes. Crushed tomatoes are definitely one of those things I canned a lot of, but we actually have been going through them more than really anything downstairs. Here we go. Because even if I'm making pizza and things like that, I've been reaching for a jar of crushed tomatoes and allowing that to kind of cook on the stove instead because I like that chunkier texture. And this is one of those things where I think next year, I don't know if I'm going to do any tomato sauce. I might just do all crushed tomatoes, which is a little bit more work because you do have to skin the tomatoes and you're not just running them through a tomato press to puree them. But overall, it's still a lot faster than salsa. I think I'm gonna have a year's worth of salsa this year. Another thing I actually need to can up soon is black beans and also kidney beans. I don't have any kidney beans on hand, so I grabbed a jar while I was at the store. And this is one of those things that I've only done this one time, and I've really enjoyed canning beans. You do need a pressure canner to do beans, but they're so easy. You just allow them to soak, you run it through the process, and that's about it. And it's just been really nice to have on hand. I will say one of the things I did when I canned the beans was I really packed them in there. And it was one of those things where they say not to like really pack them in there, and I really packed them in there. So they did kind of absorb a lot more of that extra liquid that would have been present, but they've been really great. They've been good. Again, super easy. And I think that's a really beginner-friendly pressure canning if you're trying to get into pressure canning, just because you're also not doing a ton of prep work. It's one of those things that you can do this time of year when you don't have produce coming out of the garden. I'm gonna give these a good rinse. Oh, and this is one of the other things I've been loving adding to chili this year. At the very end of the growing season, I already did enough pickled peppers and things like that to where I was like, what am I going to do with all these peppers and not waste them? So I diced them really small, just kind of pureed them in the blender really quick, and I freeze dried them. And I've just been adding like a third to a half a cup of this into the chili. And it has been my new favorite thing, and it's going to be something I continuously do because I really, really enjoy this. I'm also going to be using a ton of different spices that I've made as well. Like this is a freeze-dried tomato powder made out of the tomato skins from when I was doing the crushed tomatoes and things like that. And I have found that this just adds a really nice extra flavor, kind of like tomato paste would. I'm gonna add some cayenne in here. And I'm also going to add some cayenne chili flakes. So in my opinion, if you want more of like a true red chili flake, all you need to do is slit the cayenne, dehydrate it, and then blend it up with the seeds and everything. If you want more of a powder, you need to slit it open, de-seed it, and then dehydrate it. I'm gonna add some paprika as well, which I think I'm gonna get really close on a year's worth of paprika this year. We've been flying through it. I honestly use it for everything. And then this is our garlic from the garden. I'm gonna add some salt. This is one of those bulk bin items I have downstairs. I think I bought like 20 pounds of salt. And then I'm going to add some chili powder. And this is one of the only things I think I'm really adding seasoning wise that I did not grow myself. Oh, I'm gonna add some freeze-dried oregano as well. We're gonna start with that. But yeah, this kind of just goes back to yesterday where I was saying I need to see exactly what we're going through and what I'm not going through. That way I can get a better idea of what I really need to be growing in the garden, because I really do grow things in my garden to help just offset groceries and things like that. I can do things a lot cheaper, especially like beans, which beans aren't necessarily like, you don't need to can them, but I never reach for a dry bean. It is yet another day and I am still working on the basement. I definitely underestimated how long it was going to take me to really go through and fully organize stuff while cleaning. But last night I got majority of everything down here done, but I am going to work on this fridge and freezer situation. The other thing I have down here that I need to probably process pretty soon is this garlic. I noticed that it's starting to sprout. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this processed into garlic powder. This was my soft neck variety. I've already gone through all of my hard neck varieties, and this has lasted pretty long. We harvested this the first week of June, and I'll probably end up processing this, by the first week of February. We're like a day or two away from February, but I'm pretty positive I don't have any oxygen absorbers, and I plan to freeze dry it. I really love using my freeze dryer to make garlic powder. It is so, so good. Dehydrating it does not end up having the same outcome. I really love doing it in my freeze dryer. While I was downstairs organizing yesterday, I did find a few really old sheets that are 100% cotton, and I think it'd be really fun to try to make pajamas or like sets out of them. I don't think that the upstairs is going to take as long as the downstairs. Really, it's just the kitchen that needs like slight organizing and then just really cleaning. Most of the stuff up here is, I would say, pretty organized. There's one closet that isn't that organized that I really want to get organized, but really it's not bad at all. Yeah, that is a lot more than I was expecting there to be. I thought I brought up a ridiculous amount of boxes, but apparently I didn't. But I will say some of these were in the basement and I brought them up yesterday to clean them because I used them for soil testing and I left them in my seed starting room. But there was a good amount of them. Got one. Hi. How are you? You're a great distraction from what I need to be doing. But I will break for go easy. Last night, I should have just started with a cleaning cycle. I just have avoided doing like a self-cleaning cycle on the oven because the smell always gives me a bad headache. But it wasn't too bad last night. I had the fans going and all of that. So I ended up just doing that pretty late last night. So I'm gonna wipe it down, see what I can get off. It looks like this door still needs a little bit of help, but overall it looks significantly better, so I am happy about that. Obviously the kitchen is taking me longer than I expected. It's just because I really want to deep clean just everything. I want this house to feel airy and very clean, and I don't want to have to worry about any of it for a very long time. So this place is getting like one super serious cleaning. I want to see no dirt anywhere. So I mean, even after I go through every room and I do all this, I'm probably gonna like go through everything one more time. I need to do the floors at that point, and even then I need to get out in the garden and rip out the rest of those plants. And I have seed starting in a few days, so like I need to get all of this just done. What's up? Yeah, I'm sorry. My hands are dirty, darling. I don't want to touch you with my dirty hands. No, you can't crawl in yours. We can't have the kitty in the ovens. By the way, this is what I'm typically using if I'm scrubbing anything down that needs a good scrubbing. I've used this over the years and I really like it, especially for my sink and everything. It works really great. Watch out. This way, girlies. Come on. You ready? Good job. Go. Today might just be the warmest day we've had since probably November. It feels so good. Here, girls, come on. Enjoy the day. It's beautiful, isn't it? Oh my goodness, we are spoiled today. So I ripped off some of the bottom leaves. This was a broccoli plant that I planted in the garden, I want to say end of March in 2024. After I harvested the head, I cut this plant, and this was a sprout that popped up in the fall, and I left it. And it has been a very hardy plant. Like, it feels great. I also have this one over here. So in 2019, we put in this butcher block countertop here and then over off to the side, and it is not treated. So I put mineral oil on it every so often. It really just depends on the time of year. In the wintertime, I have to do it a lot more often, and especially in the beginning when we first got it. Yeah, I really like them, and I don't think I've ever talked about oiling my counter. So I just put oil on the counter, and I actually do a good amount, and it will really absorb over the next like handful of hours. So we'll start with that. And in the past, I would try to keep a towel that I would use. I did not like that. So I just use paper towels for this, and I just fold it up and I spread it out. So pretty. Ah, you got me. I want to say this garlic got done right around 9 p.m. last night or so. All I did was throw it in my blender, make it into a powder. It takes like 30-40 seconds, and then I put it in a sterilized jar. And this is what I have left for garlic for the year. So we have 2 full pints left, so we have a full quart plus, and I want to say we have like roughly a cup in here, so a small one like this left. And I'm thinking that means I will for sure have a year's worth of garlic this year. And that was everything we ate fresh, all of the powder since June of 2024. I think this will get us through until our next harvest, which is really, really exciting. I love using my freeze dryer, especially to make different types of powders and stuff, because the flavor is truly unmatched. There's no cooking going on. So even if I were to add this garlic powder into a recipe, you're going to have that really fresh flavor of garlic that you would expect if you were to just simply dice it up and chop it up really quickly and throw it into your recipe. When I first started to freeze dry my garlic, I actually freeze dried the whole clove. It took forever. But what was really cool about doing that is I was actually able to reconstitute the whole garlic clove and roast them, because I love to do like a garlic confit with steak and things. But this is just really simple. I use garlic powder pretty much in everything, and this should get us to our next harvest, which I am honestly so hyped about. If you've ever thought about freeze drying in general, I think it's one of the easiest ways to preserve your food. I am an affiliate for Harvest Right, so if you are interested in freeze drying, check out the description down below. I will have a link there. And for the month of February, they are giving an extra $100 off already. They're one of their biggest sales. They've continued their Black Friday discounts up until currently, and you get $100 off of that. So I wanted to let you guys know on that. I also have some freeze-dried onion here, freeze-dried oregano, because I needed to stock up on onion powder, and also my oregano where I cleaned everything out. I also have some freeze-dried parsley as well. So I'm going to fill up these jars. Whenever I do onions, it's really nice because I can chop them up like this and reconstitute them into soups. But then I can also just grind this up into a powder really quickly, and then I have onion powder. I think I'm just going to use a rolling pin and see if crushing it up this way will work. I meant to tell you guys, the last time I did onion powder, I did a red onion, so you can see how this onion powder looks a little purple. I also really like this. I can't tell too much of a difference like in a recipe, but it's really fun to have like a really pretty pop of color in my spice cabinet. I'm gonna get this stuff put away, and I think this is where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you guys for coming along with me throughout the last week as I got my life organized and cleaned. Honestly, it feels so nice to have the entire house reset, the chicken coops reset, and now we can really focus on what really matters: gardening. I'll see you guys all in the next one, where I am actually going to be starting some seeds here in February, which is really exciting. Bye guys.